Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's going to be a couple of cool bots playing each other. In the upper right, we have got a PerilousProtossBot with a fantastic name and a fantastic acronym. It's the PerilousProtossBot, or as I like to call it, the PPB. And taking on the PPB is gonna be not one, not two, but 27 turtles, which is quite a lot of turtles for anyone to manage. So we're gonna see if this PerilousProtossBot can manage it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the map Automaton, the AI edition, and if you guys enjoy these bot videos as much as I enjoy casting them, go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Give it a slap, give it a poke, whatever it may be, as that goes a long way to helping out the channel. And of course, leave a comment down below saying potatoes, or something that will confuse the next person who comes along. And yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning into these events, or into these matches. As always, I'm still in a bit of tournament mode, as I did cast the Soup Starcraft Global the other night. We have Falcon Paladin and I have a lot of fun casting those, and so yeah, we're gonna keep on going with them. I am a little bit out of sorts though as I cast this, as I'm currently working the night shift, the worst night shift I've ever worked in my life. 12 p.m. or midnight anyway, to 8:30 a.m. So it has got me thrown off sorts on the weekend a little bit. However, I believe I'm lucid enough to watch some Starcraft 2. Now, we have got 27 Turtles going to be going for a Reaper Expand. It seems double gas though, so not the fastest possible expansion because of that. Meanwhile, the PPB does have up its own double gases, and then just has a Zealot and a Cybercore on the way. I am actually going to quickly pull up these bots' descriptions, as I'm curious, because just the way they're going about things, I wonder who wrote them. So give me half a second. That's a lie, more than half a second to pull that up. Let me just track this Reaper for a second, as it does kill one probe. And then let's just Control F, PerilousProtossBot, and then 27 turtles. Wow, they're actually right next to each other on the ladder, which is very cool. So the description for 27 turtles: a small bot with big ambitions and an even bigger ego, based off that chat message there. I believe that. Turtle plays a semi-reactive styles. The names of the turtles are as follows. Oh my god. The description of the bot actually has 27 turtle names. And yes, Michelangelo is one of them. That is amazing. So, community tools use Sharpie SC2, SC2 Helper Combat Sim, and the bot author is Sahir. 27 Turtles has been around since the 23rd of October 2024, last updated January 14th, so still receiving some love. Meanwhile, the PPB, with a much shorter description, is going to be Two Perilous, written by Two Perilous, a PerilousProtossBot written in Python, created the 12th of September 2022, and rebuilt after a miserable debut in Probots. It just says PPB version 2. So now we've got 27 Turtles saying, how about a fusion core for banter? As it did say it was going to be building battle cruisers at the start of this match, which should make things interesting. And then, yeah, this Reaper's still just moving around, scouting out. Maybe gonna get another probe, but it seems it is just in full-on scout mode. Meanwhile, the PerilousProtossBot takes two gases in a very wrong location. I really don't know what went on here with the PPB. I can only assume it's because of the base positioning, how these are perhaps the two technically next closest gases or something. But the PerilousProtossBot takes the two wrong gases. It has the nexus here, and the gases are a little bit off the mark. Still going to be mining some gas from that, though, but that is not ideal for the ProtossBot. Meanwhile, we've got a tank attacking the rocks for 27Turtles, and then a single battlecruiser on the way, so we're going to see how the PerilousProtossBot responds to this. And by the way, I forgot to mention, 27Turtles is also written in Python, so both these bots are Python projects. Then we've got a stalker scouting around for the PerilousProtossBot. Probes long-distance mining away at this gas. Eventually, maybe PerilousProtossBot will take that further expansion. For now, though, it will just long-distance mine that gas. The PPB is not using Chrono Boost, really, which is a bit unfortunate. I'd love to see that get utilized, as it's something that can get easy efficiency for a ProtossBot. So 27Turtles does have a bit of a nice economic lead with this gaff from the PerilousProtossBot. However, we'll see whether it can potentially respond to these battle cruisers, how well 27Turtles is going to utilize them or not. The probe count is slowly going up. It's 2 base against 2 base. A Stargate is also on the way for the PPB. However, the concern is there is already 1 battle cruiser out that's crossing the map. I do fear for these probes that are making the perilous trip towards this 3rd base to mine the gas. I do hope eventually the PPB expands there, because it is losing quite a bit of efficiency. The ProtossBot, though, is going for double Stargate and a fleet beacon, so gonna be able to make Tempest potentially to counter these battle cruisers. Now out goes this first BC, gonna be heading towards this assimilator. Now, whether the stalkers will respond or not, the answer to that seems to be a solid no for now. Now the PPB is actually responding to that a tiny, tiny bit. However, the stalkers shoot, then they retreat. I wonder if they pad to the high ground there, maybe, to try and get this? No, they just go back to the natural and abandon that location. The rest of the stalkers say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not fighting. There's only 2 of them that are electing to fight right now. There is Blink being researched for the PPB, and eventually enough the stalkers do get around to pushing away that battle cruiser. You'll have to forgive me as I just turned down the Windows sound for Starcraft 2 just a little bit. The game sound seemed a tiny bit loud there, at least for me. Anyway, I always appreciate your guys' feedback on the audio. However, unfortunately, I do have a bit of a backlog of videos, which means if you do leave feedback, it may take a bit of time for me to adjust things. So I generally just try and go with what's best. Looks like another battlecruiser coming in, killing a single stalker. Meanwhile, this one should be chased away. The threshold for teleporting those out is incredibly low for 27Turtles. Like, those BCs were very injured before they teleported out. So we'll see if that comes back to bite 27Turtles in the behind or not. Meanwhile, the PPB is happily mining on 3 bases now. 27Turtles just getting up its own 3rd. Seeing as how a battlecruiser does cost the mineral equivalent of a command center, it does mean that if you're building BCs, you might not be expanding as fast as you'd like, necessarily. We do have a battery and a cannon on the way up at the front for the PerilousProtossBot. That could be very helpful, seeing as how we're seeing actually quite an aggressive attack come out of 27Turtles. The PPB is going to have to react to this, and we'll see if it does or not. Blink is done for the ProtossBot. That could definitely help out the stalkers. Blinks away from that damage. One blinks forward into the tank, so that's a little bit concerning. The Marines, they are buffering, but they're all going to go down very quickly. Now it's up to the Tempest and the stalkers to fight off these tanks and the battlecruisers. Double Yamato cannon gets dumped. That is going to be a guaranteed kill on a Tempest, which definitely hurts the PPB. However, this other Tempest, and now there's 2 once again, can keep shooting on these battle cruisers, so one of them gets repelled. Another Yamato cannon goes down, but gets canceled. So we'll see if any of these Tempests will go down or not, as there's currently 3 out, which is no small amount. There is just a single tank, so as far as actual damage getting done by 27Turtles, it didn't seem like that was too much. Now, armor is on the way for the PerilousProtossBot for those Tempests. It's already got attack, which is partly why the Tempests are dealing so much damage. 27 Turtles does have its 4th base done. Meanwhile, the PPB is getting up its own 4th, and the Terran bot seems to just want to keep on attacking. However, I think it would probably be better off pooling its units. It's also seemingly abandoning the battle cruiser production, for the moment anyway. Not a single BC has died yet, as it just transitions into Bio and Viking. So 27 Turtles may be showing us a bit of that reactive composition that it said it goes for. Meanwhile, there's still just 3 Stargates for the PerilousProtossBot doing its thing. Stim Pack is going to be done for the Marines of 27 Turtles. That could definitely help out. However, as far as trickling in units against its opponent, that is not what 27 Turtles wants to do. The battle cruisers are taking their sweet, sweet time being repaired, as there's only 2 SCVs doing it. Imagine trying to be a worker and fixing an entire, like, capital class ship by yourself. Well, just you and your homie. Now, it looks like some of these BCs are actually very gung-ho to get back to the fight. This other one still needs to be repaired. However, they seemingly are heeding the call to go back to battle before they're fully repaired. Now, 27 Turtles is moving out on the map. It's got a decent army supply lead compared to its opponent. There's the bio-stimming. Battery overcharges, but it's just going to be targeted down, so that's one way to deal with that. In comes the Protoss to respond to this. What do we have? 5 Tempest, a bunch of Stalkers. The Stim Bio is doing what they can. Yamato Cannon does get dumped. Gonna hit one of the Tempest, of course not kill it, and that was actually a dead battle cruiser, so the Tempest are really cutting through these BCs with high efficiency. The Marines are electing to retreat, it seems. Viking's not getting too much done. At least that battle cruiser does escape that Viking. Dodging shots by landing, it seemed. Some more of the Marines do come in. Maybe that gas is going to go down, but other than that, I don't see too much damage getting done by 27 Turtles. Tank is sieging up, so some Stalkers could be in a bit of trouble. And then the tank, yeah, will shoot maybe some of those pylons or cannons, but all in all, another successful defense by the PerilousProtossBot. If we look at that production tab, it is lighting up like a Christmas tree. Teutonic destabilizers, air weapons. Meanwhile, 27 Turtles is still just on 4 bases, so 4 base to 4. 80 workers to 80 workers, actually. And then multiple barracks on the way for 27 Turtles. But now all of a sudden, the Terran bot is going to be on the defensive. Battle cruisers going to have to do what they can. SCVs just are like immediately like, all right, let's go, boys. No questions asked about that one. Stalkers do blink forward into the siege tank, which definitely hurts the PerilousProtossBot. And it seems the PPB has decided better than attacking and is just going to go on home. It maybe could have taken that further, as Tempest do require a very specific response to deal with. It's not easy to kill 6 Tempest if you're a bot, because, well, you need the anti-air and you need to position your army appropriately. Resources lost-wise, 27 Turtles is lagging, not by too much though, so it is acceptable for now. However, we'll see whether it can actually get a successful attack off or deal with this army. The Terran Bio does have 1-1 now, 2-2s on the way. So many Marines are being produced, and Marines are good against both Tempest and Stalkers. Great anti-armor missile gets tossed on down. We've got 27 Turtles calling the PerilousProtossBot a peeping Tom. Now, we've got PerilousProtossBot saying game over, and then, yeah, so far though, I don't think this game is going to be over, as the PPB is holding the line for now, doing a solid job with its defense, and 27 Turtles isn't really gaining any ground. Meanwhile, the PPB is gaining Tempest, which is somewhat concerning for the Terran. However, if 27 Turtles continues on with its bio production, with its bio upgrades, I do believe 3-3 Marines do trump Tempest in the long run if you reach max out. However, if 27 Turtles is just going to keep on trickling units in like this, that's not necessarily the best, as that is just bio being killed and max supply not being reached. Meanwhile, the PerilousProtossBot is actually close to maxing out. It's still 4 bases to 4 bases, with a 5th base on the way for 27 Turtles. So it could potentially have an economic lead down the line. Yamato Cannon hits a battery that will cost the battlecruiser its life, though, as these Tempests will just delete pretty much anything they set their sights on. 27 Turtles is being the aggressor, despite being down on army supply very heavily, although those 2-2 upgrades are about to finish out. which definitely will help 27 Turtles out, but I'm not sure there's any helping in this scenario, as what's the unit count? 19 Marines against 10 Tempest. I don't know if the Marines want to take those odds, but they shall try, or at least those of them that are on the front will. Lots of static defense is being killed. It's not like 27 Turtles is leaving empty-handed. Resources lost isn't the most efficient, but it's still getting some work done. Getting some pickoffs on those buildings and whatnot. Not leaving completely empty-handed. Yamato Cannon hits an Immortal. Observer gets scanned and killed by 27 Turtles, so good job there. Both of these bots are starting to mine out their base, so the 5th base popping up for 27 Turtles will help out. That's an extra orbital going to be dropping mules, so potentially increased production there. We do have Void Rays now being added in for the PerilousProtossBot, which is interesting. 3-3 is on the way, though, for the Terran. We've even got the odd Medivac getting mixed on in, and this is the 2-2 bio just moving forward. Like, Tempest are not the fastest at killing bio. However, the battery overcharge, and there is enough to defend against that, so that bio did die surprisingly quickly as 27 Turtles pulls back. It's actually killing those rocks, which is very interesting. I wonder if that's just a thing they programmed in to shoot the rocks as they move by. Will the Marauders do it? No, just the tanks were doing it, which is very, very bizarre. Not sure that it needs to kill those rocks, as it can just mine from the other side. Very odd feature on the map. We've got 27 Turtles acknowledging the Void Rays, so the bot author definitely has programmed in some responses to the composition of the PPB, so these bots do seem to be reacting to each other. Tanks and Marines are on the way for 27 Turtles. These Marauders are moving in, killing off more cannons and batteries. How many of those have died this game? 12 cannons, 14 batteries. The Marauders are, I mean, they're doing what they can. There's even DTs in the mix with DT blinking on top of those tanks. Not that the ground units really need to do that much for the PerilousProtossBot, as 27 Turtles is still just doing its thing. The Terran bot is coming forward, maybe going to get a Void Ray, but going to lose more Marines. The question now is whether the PerilousProtossBot will be able to secure this 5th base. The PPB's economy will be growing with this 6 being a gold base. And then, of course, the Terran Mule factor really can't be overlooked. Like, as the later the game goes, the more orbitals the Terran has. So even if they're on an even number of bases, the income will grow for the Terran, as a defunct orbital with no minerals to mine, like the main base pretty much at this point, still drops its mules on other bases as long as the bot is doing that behavior correctly. The PerilousProtossBot is trying to secure this Nexus. It's got it fully saturated, so that's definitely going to help out. However, it's got to keep it alive, and look at all the Marines that are streaming across the map for the Terran. A Void Ray almost goes down. More Marines are coming on in, and we're seeing how air units are not that effective against what is now 3-3 bio. DTs are coming on in. However, there's a great scan being placed by 27 Turtles. There's also a Raven. The PerilousProtossBot is barely saving this Nexus for now, and 27 Turtles just continues its onslaught, trading not the most efficiently, but with a bit of a better economy than its opponent. 1 extra base. As I say that, though, the PPB does secure this another Nexus, so it will be 6 against 6 bases until 27 Turtles potentially expands once more. The Terran bot is just coming on in with whatever it can, not really killing too many of the air units, but getting efficiency, trading on the ground. Battle cruisers coming on in. This boy is not going to do too well for himself, as the Tempest will just shoot that out of the sky. That may be the last battle cruiser we see in this match, which is probably the right decision for 27 Turtles against Mass Tempest. The odd Viking here and there can definitely help out. Well, more than the odd Viking, and this tank is shooting the Nexus. It unsieges, though, when it's at 15 HP. Can it be a hero and kill the Nexus? It's taken the long way about killing this. A Stalker soaking shots for the team, but the Nexus does fall as the PPB pulled its army back, recognizing it lost the Nexus, it seems. And what a great match this is between these two bots, just non-stop fighting. These bots, they don't play like humans, but they definitely have close matches, and that's what we're seeing now. 27 Turtles is going up in supply. The Stalkers are maybe not trading out the most efficiently, but, I mean, resources lost is definitely still in favor of the Protoss now that there is 3-3 bio. While there has been for a while, I think things have been looking up for 27 Turtles as the income grows, as well, thanks to the mules being dropped. Now, Yeah, as supply for the PerilousProtossBot is actually dropping, I think that may be some dead probes. The Tempests really still are being incredibly efficient. Have any Tempest died? The answer is 1 has died. 3 Void Rays have perished, but that really is where the efficiency is still coming for the PerilousProtossBot. The bio isn't grouping up enough. Neither are the Vikings to kill the Tempest. It really is just dead stalkers on the ground that is feeding the resources lost of the PerilousProtossBot, keeping 27 Turtles in this game, because it really isn't addressing the main army, but if it can keep killing bases and keep trading out, maybe it can win this game. I'm wondering when we will see an expansion from 27 Turtles, though. Interestingly enough, the Terran bot is firing up another rack, saying it needs more production, and it might do, as it is mining 4,000 resources a minute. Definitely having the lead on that. Let's get back to the action. A disruptor shot getting off as 27 Turtles keeps trading out. Supplies are neck and neck right now. The PerilousProtossBot having this extra base up is a lifesaver. I have no idea why it skipped this Nexus, but who knows why bots do anything. It's not like we could break down their code or anything and find out exactly why they do things. Now, 27 Turtles is pushing on in. A big bio ball, going to be looking to cancel this gold base once more, and I think that probably will succeed. The Raven's doing work, and now the Tempest are actually in a bit of trouble. However, beautiful micro back, the injured Tempest retreating, while the full HP ones are still getting shots off. However, we may see one Tempest go down, and we do. Of course, this is not free for 27 Turtles. Look at all the shots these Tempests are getting off, just cutting through the bio. The Stalkers on the ground blinking forward are still dying en masse. However, the resources lost for 27 Turtles is very high as well. Like, it's 75 dead Marauders, 32 dead tanks, 238 Marines. And so while 27 Turtles has been the bot making moves, these moves have not been free. We do have a 7th and an 8th base going up for 27 Turtles, though, which will give it a lot more life in this game. Meanwhile, the PPB just attempting to get up this Nexus once more. I'm not sure it's going to happen, as supplies are still even, and it's failed to hold on to this tricky position all game. The trades, though, are still very superior, so this game could really go either way. The Tempest count is quite monstrous right now at 9. However, they just got to be careful and keep microing back. Hallucinated Archon soaking damage. The Tempest micro of the PerilousProtossBot is quite something. Utilizing these to maximum efficiency, the Marines just are not killing the Tempest. As really, I mean, what is it? Only 2 have died this game so far, so 27 Turtles may actually be taking worse trades for the past minute or so, it seems. However, there we see more bases going up for 27 Turtles, as it secures everything on its side of the map and then some with this base going up. And I'm not sure if the PPB will be able to maintain these trades. This space is incredibly saturated. It seemingly keeps trying to expand towards this location, whereas it's got a safer, fresher base over there. So maybe it'll try to take the other base at some point. Cannon and battery are holding on the, I guess, south side. Meanwhile, the west side of the PerilousProtossBot still trading out. The Tempest are really using the terrain by retreating over these ledges in order to just, well, be safe while getting kills off on the opponent. Void Ray eats an anti-armor missile, but there's nothing to finish that off. So the trades are still quite good for the PerilousProtossBot, but look at that, the main mined out, the natural mined out, the third mining out. This really is a close game. Even that base on the left side has been mining for a couple minutes, so the income for the PerilousProtossBot is going to be dropping here. Meanwhile, 27 Turtles has got lots of life in this game. We're seeing 4 Vikings be made at a time. 27 Turtles has been trying to attack for about 20 straight minutes. A Stalker kills a tank. The PerilousProtossBot, I'd love to see it throw up another Nexus here. It's tried so many times. Now defending on the south side with a battery could help the ProtossBot get a good trade, as the super battery is no joke. Tempest are shooting away as 27 Turtles gets pushed back once more. The PerilousProtossBot hasn't really attacked all game. And look at that, attempting to take this Nexus once more, leading in supply. Marines and Vikings are being made en masse for 27 Turtles. It still hasn't really killed any Tempest. Pardon me, it killed one more. So, like, that's what I mean. The efficiency isn't great for 27 Turtles, but is it enough? That's the question. I really have no idea. One Tempest is too far forward. That's very unfortunate for the PerilousProtossBot. Unless it can secure this gold base, it cannot be taking trades like that, as its income is basically half that of its opponent. Now, battery overcharge is on cooldown still as 27 Turtles comes on in once more. The Stalker micro is I mean, it's good, other than the ones that blink forward to their suicide. The DT's even blinking forward, trying to stay out of the scan, but there's a Raven in the back, so that doesn't help out. Still, though, another great trade for the PerilousProtossBot. However, just the income is still plummeting as this Nexus is shut down once more. A few more Tempests did die in the middle of this as well. The PerilousProtossBot will probably take worse trades as its Tempest count falls as well. Not that it's plummeting, but it is definitely losing a few right now as that one flies too far forward. And the Vikings are doing some work. As, yeah, another Tempest does go down. So 27 Turtles does seem to be making more Vikings this match, which is really helping it out. Disruptor shots going off for the PerilousProtossBot. Stalkers shooting away, doing their thing. Just, it is really unfortunate how the PerilousProtossBot decided it didn't need to expand there. We do have probes beginning to transfer all towards this left location, so going to be maximum, beyond maximum saturation. If we look at the supply, though, it really is falling. Meanwhile, 27 Turtles, it's still able to replace those units it lost basically at the same pace it has all game, whereas the PPB is falling down, and it is unfortunate that the PerilousProtossBot is not long-distance mining, but choosing to oversaturate. It's tried to secure up this Nexus multiple times, and yeah, I'd say it's just a distance thing. Why it's taking this location over this one, but then it took this location, so I really have no idea why it skipped that over. If for some reason the PerilousProtossBot thought that base was blocked for a time, or not seeing it as a viable location to expand to. However, now the PerilousProtossBot does seem to be running out of steam. Tempest fighting Marines are going down, and the Stalkers, they're doing what they can, just the replacement rate isn't what it used to be, and so now the PPB is in quite a bit of trouble. There's no battery at this location anymore to heal up these units. 27 Turtles is pushing forward. Tempest are doing what I can. Morla, is that a 10 tank count? I wonder how many there are trapped behind our wall, says 27 Turtles. That is an interesting thing, but very self-aware. Doesn't look like any of them are. 27 Turtles has just been able to hit a high tank count as it hasn't been losing that many units. The PPB is trading out, doing what it can, but supply is falling. The mining isn't there as this base is going to start to mine out. It's making probes, which is not what it needs, and I do believe 27 Turtles' dedication to the attack has worked out after, like, it's been like 20 solid minutes of just non-stop action. Now the Nexus on the left, it's going to be a probe massacre at this base, and I believe that that is going to be it. Some of these probes say we got to abandon ship, and they're not going to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this match, go ahead, click that like button if you haven't already. If you've watched all the way to the end of this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe, as these bot games, they are certainly very entertaining to watch. Now, if you do enjoy the matches, of course, consider becoming a YouTube member to support the channel. That goes a long way to help me take the time to put up daily videos. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoy these matches. If you're a bot author and you want to recommend these games, recommend matches for me to cast, go ahead and do so. This one was a recommended match that I probably wouldn't have clicked on otherwise, but it definitely was a great one. So big thank you to the bot author who did send this in. Still collecting replays in my Discord if you guys want to play the bots. The link to them is in the description. I am thinking about doing like a 1 versus AI series in which I try and build my way up to beating like the 7 elite AI that I know some players, that some other YouTubers have done. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Odds are I'll have already recorded some of those videos by the time this one goes up. But yeah, well done to these 2 bots. They're not the top bots on the ladder, but they seem rather well-rounded for the most part and to play quite well. 27Turtles in the PPB, very interesting. And 30 minutes already, I thought Turtles were slow. I really do love how 27Turtles AI arena profile literally has the names of 27 turtles. Like, we've got Tortellini, Speedy, Nugget, Puddles, Donatello, of course, and Darwin, Costa. Really just a beautiful page there. And that is going to be that, as 27Turtles takes all the bases and takes the win. A really great match. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.